This is Frankie. He has the same aspirations most of us do, but sitting here in his 1970s living room, he's realizing that having an ambition and actually achieving it are two very different things. Frankie wants to be a good neighbor. In project management terms, that's a goal, a broad, general statement explaining a long-term ambition. The problem is that being a good neighbor doesn't provide a list of actions to take when he actually steps outside. Without a strategy, Frankie improvises. He tries to be friendly, misjudges his strength, and ends up destroying the very community he's trying to join. Beneath the heavy brow, Frankie is actually a deep intellectual. He understands the nuances of social contracts and desires peace. But his clumsy exterior will keep causing accidental property damage until he finds a way to translate thoughts into precise movements. This distinguishes a goal from an objective. A goal is that fuzzy cloud on the left, broad and general. An objective is the staircase on the right, detailed, specific steps explaining exactly what will be done, when, and how success is measured. That's where the neighbor comes in. Seeing the broken porch, he stages an intervention, introducing Frankie to a framework designed to turn vague intentions into a successful project. Intentions alone don't build neighborhoods. Without a structured, detailed framework, even the best broad goals lead to destructive non-compliance with the rules of the community. The intervention begins with the S in S.M.A.R.T, which stands for specific. Frankie stops trying to be a neighbor and instead sets a specific objective, to host a backyard barbecue for the entire block. Next is M for measurable. Success needs metrics. Frankie decides he will track his progress by ensuring exactly 20 hot dogs are consumed and maintaining a record of 0 villagers screaming in fear. The A and R stand for achievable and realistic. This is a resource check. Does Frankie have the manpower and tools to do this? He secures a grill, buys the buns, and practices his safe hands technique. The plan is grounded in reality. Finally, T means time-bound. Without a deadline, a project is just a wish. Frankie stamps his checklist with a firm date, this Saturday at 6 p.m. When these 5 pillars work together, they transform an overwhelming dream into an executable, step-by-step project. Frankie isn't guessing anymore. He's following an outline. Now we see the plan in action. Frankie is at the grocery store, carefully applying his S.M.A.R.T objectives to his shopping list. He's reflecting on the reason for this change. Reason looks at the past. Frankie is using this framework because of his previous failures. He knows the neighbors are currently afraid due to the porch incident. This contrasts with his purpose, which looks toward the future. He is buying these supplies in order to host a peaceful gathering so that he can prove he's a reliable member of the community. Articulating both the past reason for a failure and the future purpose for a project helps ensure that a new objective is actually addressing the right problem. It's a sanity check for his strategy. Saturday at 6 p.m., the deadline has arrived. The yard is full of neighbors, and for the first time, Frankie is coexisting with them. The data confirms the win. The counter hits 20 hot dogs consumed, and the scream gauge remains at 0. By following his specific, measurable objectives, Frankie has successfully hit his target. This is a demonstration of higher-order thinking skills, or HOTS. Frankie moved past simply following rules and moved into the realm of analysis and creation. He designed a strategy, evaluated his resources, and created a successful outcome. Applying frameworks like S.M.A.R.T is what allows professionals to shift away from constant, conscious struggle. By using these structures repeatedly, the process of solving complex problems can eventually become a more natural part of a daily routine. If a literal monster can conquer the chaos of his social life using S.M.A.R.T goals, you can use this exact framework to master your own projects at work. Just remember to keep it specific. See you next time.